Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
That's enough. Can you tell the people what day it is today? Actually,
I don't know.
It's Friday.
Okay.
It's Friday.
Friday. I just lose track of time all the time.
The end of a long week. I hope you all had a fantastic week. We will be beginning today's episode with
This Week in History.
This Week in History.
Oh, yeah.
In 1968.
Oh, yeah.
In 1968, Robert Kennedy is buried.
Oh, well, that's
What a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
He had just given a victory speech at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles and was making his way to a press conference by a side exit when he was shot by a Palestinian named Sirhan. Don't make any jokes. Don't do it. Too sensitive of a subject. In 2017...
Isn't that redundant? That's all.
In 2017, Asian nations pledged to fight plastic pollution.
There you go. They pledged, you know what? I will join that pledge.
We should have an episode on
Plastic pollution.
things like that.
Specific.
We'll see. In 17...
Can be part of our pollution series of podcasts.
In 1714, female pirate Anne Brennan makes her mark. What does that mean?
Wait, what year?
1714.
Oh, 1714. I was thinking it was 2014.
A young man made a pass at 14-year-old Anne Brennan, who beat him so severely that she broke his jaw and kept him in the hospital for 3 months.
Wow.
Good for her.
Legendary.
She, started a relationship with Calico Jack Rackham and became friends with notable pirates such as Blackbeard.
Wow.
Wow.
I should be more excited about this, I guess. Hold on. Wow.
A bounty was placed on her ship. Armed troops came aboard and arrested her. She escaped before her execution, and she gave birth the following year. Women don't get enough credit.
Wait a minute.
I said what I said.
She was 14, I thought it said.
No,
I skipped I missed the other part.
That didn't all happen within a year.
Oh, I thought it happened. I thought she was being
14,
arrested for breaking the guy's jaw.
No, this was 6 years later. She was 20.
Okay.
1982. E.T. the Extraterrestrial is released. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
You know the
Is that the one with Drew Barrymore?
strange thing? Was she in it? I think so. Or no, wait, was she?
Or am I thinking?
I don't know because I've never actually seen it all the way through either.
Oh,
I think
really?
I kind of saw it once, but I was like not interested in it at all. So
I just know of the ride at Universal.
if anyone
It's a
has
good ride.
Okay, so for anyone, I'm sure people
don't
have
care.
seen that movie, obviously, though.
Sure.
They have to tell us if it's good or if it's not and why it's good or why
mhm.
it's not.
Sure.
Because I have no
I
idea.
have no idea.
I had no interest in it
Maybe
ever
that should be the first movie on our watch list that we review.
because I have no interest in it ever.
Maybe you'll really like it.
I doubt it.
In 2016, Italian Coast Guard rescues 1,230 refugees in the waters between Sicily and North Africa during 9 separate rescue operations. I don't understand what's happening. 2016? Europe started seeing an influx of migrant refugees as people were fleeing Muslim-majority countries, mostly from Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
Why were they fleeing all these countries? I mean, Afghanistan, maybe because of the war. That might make
says
sense.
there was a refugee crisis. I don't know.
We just don't know anything of this, of any of this.
In 1971, New York Times publishes the Pentagon Papers, officially titled Report of the Office of the Secretary of Defense Vietnam Task Force. Pentagon
okay.
Papers has a nicer ring to it.
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue.
They were top secret documents by the federal government and were leaked to the Times by Daniel Ellsberg, a former Defense Department analyst.
I wonder if the Vietnam War, right? That was when I was real young. I wonder if the Vietnam War was kind of like the Gulf War. And the Gulf War was, everybody was, well, wait, it wasn't the Gulf War. It was the second Gulf War or whatever. It was right after 9/11. Everybody was like on board that we're going to go into Afghanistan. We're going to find Osama bin Laden. We're going to, Iraq, the whole thing, right? Iraq, Afghanistan. Everybody was on board, almost everyone. But then after the fact, everyone was against it, And my impression with the Vietnam War was it was kind of like the same thing. Like in the beginning, everybody was like all gung-ho. And then afterward, probably because it wasn't as easy as maybe they thought it would be, everybody was saying like, we never should have been there and everything. It's like,
maybe
just picking the winning side.
Sometimes when I'm editing these episodes,
you want to edit out everything that I say.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm realizing that the first time around, like when we were recording, I wasn't listening. And there are some times that I'm like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. I think maybe this is one of those times.
I do the same thing, except I don't hear it until after you've edited it, and I'm listening to it in the car.
So these papers, for those that don't know, it was a secret 47-volume Pentagon analysis of U.S. involvement in Southeast Asia from the end of World War II through 1967, more than 10 years into the Vietnam War. And the publishing of the Pentagon Papers eventually led to a landmark decision in the Supreme Court, which ruled that it was legal for the Times to have published them because of, quote, the people's right to know, which we love that. Of course we have a right to know. What do you mean?
I don't want to know. You can't handle the truth.
No. If you're playing,
you can't handle the truth.
Keep it on the low. 'Cause my heart can't take
I'm shutting down.
In 1777, the Continental Congress chooses a national flag.
That's cool. What did it look like?
I don't know.
It doesn't say.
Let's see. The flag of the United States be 13 alternate stripes, red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. I didn't know that's what that was supposed to be doing.
You should bring that original flag back. They probably will for the 250th anniversary.
Maybe, maybe not.
What is the 250-year anniversary called? I can't remember what it's called. It's like the 200-year anniversary was the bicentennial.
Is there a word for the 250th?
Yes, there is, because I heard it. I heard it once. I did not retain the information.
For 250th anniversary, it comes up immediately. It's a semi-quincentennial. And you know what this makes me realize? We'll get to grievances later.
It just doesn't sound like it.
There's no need for that word. We don't need it.
That's true. That's true.
We don't have to say that, because what it is saying the quincentennial, right? Because that would be 500 years, and saying half of that. So there's not really a word for the 250th anniversary. You're just comparing it to other anniversaries.
If it was 1,000 years, it would be what? A millennia.
Sure.
Right? That's 1,000 years.
A millennium.
Is a millennia or a millennium?
I thought.
I'm not sure now. You're thinking of the Millennium Falcon.
No, I'm not.
1,000 birds.
Millennium is singular.
Okay, so the plural is millennia.
I don't even know why I doubted myself.
Okay. Well, I was trying to get clarification on what was the singular and what was the plural.
This is a rough episode for us. I don't know what is happening.
So it's a quarter millennium. It's a 250 year, right? It's a quarter.
Yeah, but what's the word millennium for quarter then?
What's 1 quarter times millennium? 250.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a quart millennium if there's a word for that. That's what I'm saying.
Quillennium. Quartlenium.
Or I guess you could do, wait, what did I say this was? It could be a semi.
There you go.
Millennium.
Semi millennium.
Just cut in half.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I have a headache.
That's a good idea. Well, that's what we're going to call it. The semi millennium. Or semi
People don't care about this.
They do. People care about, I care about this, so people care about it.
Okay.
No, semi ends in mi, right? So what happens very often when words are like that, they just blend together.
Sure.
So it would be the semi-semillennium. Semi-semillennium. There we go. It's the semi-semillennium. So let it be written, so let it be done.
Okay, great.
Listener feedback.
Thank goodness we're in listener feedback now. Thank goodness. All right. So we have some messages to our Google Voice number, which is, to remind you, 407-584-7543.
You can text or
text
call.
that number. I won't respond, but it'll be there. No, I'll respond.
No one will ever answer that number.
Or if you call, you can leave a voicemail for your chance to be played on the show. Oh,
I thought you were going to say a chance to win a prize or something. You have a chance to win a prize. You're not going to.
Okay, great.
But you never
Thanks
know.
for clarifying.
You never know. So call and leave a message, comment for your chance to win a prize.
Okay. Someone texted us and said,
okay.
I feel like with the Harambe thing, most people just sort of made a joke out of it at the time, which is annoying. Personally...
Oh, wait, the Harambe thing is what?
Oh, to remind us all. Harambe, the gorilla that was shot when the child climbed into the enclosure in, 2016 or something.
There are people, I'm guessing, that are listening to this episode of the podcast that didn't listen to the original episode.
Everybody knows about Harambe.
Yeah. Well, I know, but you have to tell them what.
Personally, back to the message. Personally, I would have let nature play out. The gorilla shouldn't be caged up there in the first place, in my opinion. The least you could do is let nature take its course at that point. I get the lawsuit thing, but that's a consequence of their own actions to have a gorilla there and to not secure it well enough, apparently. So they should have accepted responsibility for that. Same with the negligent parents. If they cared enough, they should have jumped in and fought the gorilla off themselves.
Yeah, okay. But we already know.
I don't think any of that is a joke. I think that's a genuine opinion.
That gorilla might be able to take on 100 men.
Ooh.
So,
that reminds me.
Or Chuck Norris may be able to take on 100 men.
I was just going to say, you sent me...
Could Chuck Norris take on 100 gorillas?
Somebody had sent you a message saying, I'm a little late to the debate on 100 men versus one gorilla, but the best version I heard was 100 gorillas versus Chuck Norris.
See, I love that.
I don't understand the fascination with Chuck Norris.
For some reason, I think I watched that at the time, but I can't remember now because I was watching a bunch of them because I had never... Somehow, I had never heard of that until till you mentioned something, and then I started looking stuff up. And
next, someone said this was in response to we were talking about Star Wars for some reason, and I hadn't seen them, but because I had said about I think that. Why are you making a face? Because you're
wondering.
Overwhelmed with how professional this podcast
I'm just
is.
wondering. I want to do one that's 100 toddlers versus a gorilla.
That's an awful thing
Toddlers?
to say.
No, if they're not not well behaved.
What about 100 toddlers versus just like a monkey?
Chuck Norris.
Like a regular sized monkey.
Regular-sized monkey. No, but that would prolong the agony.
Chimpanzee.
That would prolong the agony. Maybe, I guess, if you're...
It's a level playing field.
Weird.
Pick on someone your own size.
I don't know.
All right,
I know. Imagine if you had to deal with 100...
hurry this up.
If you had to deal with 100 toddlers, that would not be easy, right? That would be difficult.
I would take
out
myself.
Could a gorilla deal with 100 toddlers? That's the question.
Okay, great. So back to what I was saying.
Go ahead.
About the books.
10.
Guys, so we were talking about, I had said that books are always better than movie versions. No, this is a different one. Hold on.
I'm sorry for interrupting this.
No. Oh, this was this was about my grievance that famous people, when they say they're an author and they have a new book coming out.
Right.
And someone said, some famous people actually write books, like Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen, who was a writer before he was a musician. But yeah, I feel like for the most part, you're right. Yeah, obviously there are cases where people are genuinely writers, and that makes sense. Majority of celebrities, and this is not my opinion, I'm stating a fact right now.
Yeah.
They couldn't write a book to save their lives.
Right.
And this is not, I won't have any debate about this.
Right.
That's a fact.
You should write a book. You should write an autobiography called, for the most part, I'm Right.
No, that would be yours.
No, mine would be I'm always right.
God.
But yours could be, for the most part,
another
I'm right.
Comment.
Meaning
Jim,
you.
Another comment. Jim saying, I have another grievance after Samantha sings obnoxiously. As if I didn't just do that. Also, definitely agree with the RBI thing. The RBI thing is, I believe, my complaint when announcers say ribbies. It's an RBI.
Oh,
What
yeah,
are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah. That's annoying. That is annoying.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
that comment. Hold on.
What bothers you more, when they say ribbies or when they say he's favoring his left leg or his right arm
I don't know why, but the favoring is just like nails on a chalkboard
or
to
his
me.
eldest child?
They also they don't say ribbies as much. And so it's more of like it's like an unexpected slap in the face when it happens.
yeah.
Whereas the favoring, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just it's there.
Do you know what annoys me?
What?
Just really quickly, because it's related to that, and it's the Phillies. I don't hear typical other broadcasters do this,
You don't listen to other
but they
broadcasters.
constantly say like he was a little tardy getting to first base, or he was like they say that instead of late. And it's
no
like,
Tom slander.
oh, it drives me nuts.
He
It drives me
does
nuts.
a phenomenal job.
No one talks like that.
I'm not having any Tom slander. We
Tardy
love him.
is when you're late for class.
This isn't grievances.
Go ahead. You can cut this and move it into the
You
grievances
are
section.
ruining this episode
Go
for me.
Go
Our final comments. We do have more, but we'll get to those next week. Our
Okay.
final comments for today. Someone said, cracking up at Friday's discussion of Harambe, back to Harambe, and Jim's comment of how they should have just hit the kid with the tranquilizer, normalized tranquilizing children.
Yeah.
Someone had also commented and said, tranquilize the mom, since it was technically her fault.
Well, yeah, but she probably was already tranquilized. That's why she wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
Maybe.
And think if I had a kid and they were stupid or rebellious enough to do what that kid did, I would advocate against the zoo punishing the animal big time. I would be so profusely and publicly apologetic. I'd indicate what the family's response was, so maybe they did that.
This is probably not a good... I'm not going to say it's not fair for us to like bash this parent.
It is. It's bad parenting.
But no, I agree. I can't understand a scenario where that kid should have been able to get in there and nobody notices and all of that. But yeah, I can't, to just say at that point, well, we're going to just let nature play out. Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Moving on to our grievances.
If you have grievances, and I'm sure you have.
Hello, welcome to Grievances. Do you have any? You don't know.
I said the
you
one.
You never know.
I just said my grievance.
The Phillies and tardiness.
I put it this way.
Oh.
I don't like it in a general sense. I don't like it when someone uses a word where there's a very common word, but they don't use that word. They use a different word just to sound different or think that they're sounding more intelligent.
No, I don't think that's what he's doing at all. I completely disagree.
I'm saying in a general sense. In a general sense.
With baseball specifically, they're trying to make it more exciting and spice it up and all of that.
But he always says it. He always says it. He always says it. And Ruben Amaro has started doing the same thing now.
I don't like him.
Leave him alone. I don't like him either, though.
Okay.
He would make a really good accountant.
Stop.
He just looks like an accountant.
Stop that. Okay. Here is my grammar complaint for today. This is something that annoys me. Can you tell me the difference between prescribe and proscribe?
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is a rough one. This is a rough one. Okay. Like prescribe would be like prescribe a medication, for instance, something like that. Like it's here's like the solution,
a recommendation,
the fix. Okay. Proscribe would be...
This is going to be a joke. I could see it in your face.
I don't have an answer for this, so I'm thinking
so you're
something
making
on the fly.
Okay,
hold on. Let me think a second. Let me think about it. Let me think if I can. I don't know. I'm just gonna come. There's no way I can always be right if I just guess. if I absolutely, if my life depended on it and I had to take a guess, I would probably come up with something, but I don't know. What is it?
I at least want to. All right. So prescribe is to like recommend something, right? You were correct. Proscribe means the exact opposite. It means to
don't do this.
Yes.
Don't take this.
Yeah. It's and not just like a don't do it, but like you can't. It's prescribed. You are unable. You're unallowed.
God, is that confusing? Who made that up?
So it's very annoying, and that's what when you were just trying to give me the definition and you failed to remind everyone.
I might have thought of it. I might have thought of it eventually. I was just a little tardy.
I wanted. I wanted to look up the origins to see, because, obviously words are come from things.
Somewhere. They come
Okay.
from,
So
we don't know. A lot
prescribe
of them, we just don't know where they ever come from.
comes from the Latin pre, like before, and obviously we know like scribere is right?
We don't all know that. Now I know.
Well, like a scribe, you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah,
scribe.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said obviously. It's my bad.
You were assuming average
So-
intelligence or
So
above.
if you just take it like that, then the Latin translation is direct in writing, and it moves over to us as confine within bounds. So you're able to do it, right? So that's the origin of all that. The proscribe, pro is in front of, you still have the scribere, which is right, and then it somehow goes to outlaw in late Middle English.
I don't understand
I don't
any
understand
of
it
that.
either. In front of and it doesn't make sense to me.
No.
So my complaint,
In
I'm
front of, what's the
explaining
second part?
the scribe part. So the right in front of right. It just, I don't, whatever. So my complaint is, I'm teaching you something grammatically, which is what I do here, obviously. But I don't like this one because
Yeah.
it's dumb.
Well, that's what I always think. Most of these things, most grammatical things, or when you think them through and you have the explanation, it makes complete sense. It's like,
This one does
oh,
not.
now I get it. And which helps because it makes it much easier to remember that rule.
I mean,
In
I
this
guess,
case, no, we need to end this. We need to change this.
I guess you could argue that you're not listening. I guess you could argue
Listening.
you weren't. You were looking off
I was
into the
listening
distance,
to what you were saying.
meaning you were thinking. Anyway, you could argue in front of, like it's outside of the bounds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense,
Well, you
but
just
you
said
shouldn't have to go around to get to where
right. Well, you just said as though the way my mind works. Like I always try to
make it make sense.
rationalize something,
Yes.
so it makes sense, so that I can remember it. So I've
All right, my
yeah.
final complaint
Go
for
ahead.
the day
Go ahead.
is I hate
Me.
that there
Me.
that there are, we obviously know of Watergate, right?
Yes, it's a gate that keeps the
No,
water.
can we
Okay.
not make a joke about it?
Okay.
We obviously know of Watergate.
Yes, the set 1973
The
Nixon.
situation. And why is that whole situation called Watergate?
Because it was the Watergate Hotel.
Because
where
it was
took
the
place.
Watergate Hotel.
Right.
Why did we find some fascination with putting gate at the end of scandals and situation?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
It was called Watergate because that's where it happened.
Right. And now that's everything.
Now you call things like whatever gate.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. This started with the news media.
Sure.
The fake news.
Sure.
Everything is fake news anymore. It's so hard to find news that's not fake news, massage news, opinion. Everything's opinion. We're probably one of the few actual sources of real news. This is a sad state of affairs we have come to.
So the examples that come up when you Google, because I just tried to, anyway, Antennagate, a controversy involving Apple's iPhone 4, where the antenna design was criticized for causing reception issues. Antennagate.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Okay.
Well, that's really
Gamergate.
bad because it's not even like a scandal. It's just like, oh, there's a problem with the antenna.
That's what I mean. Gamergate, a controversy that initially began as a dispute in the gaming community, but later escalated into a wider debate about gender issues, harassment, and online culture. Pizzagate, a false conspiracy theory that gained traction online, suggesting a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. was involved in a child sex trafficking ring. Why do we put gate at the end of these? Just be creative and give it a name.
How do they know that's false?
It's
funny because the other ones, they didn't prepend false.
What? You say prepend?
Prepend in the beginning. See what? What? That's a word. Append, prepend. Well, it looks like we have something else we all are learning today.
No, I'm going to tell you what bothers me about this, and then we're leaving because this episode's too long. What bothers me about this is that the only reason you know this word is because its history is in computing to attach a piece of data to the beginning of another. That's the only reason you know this word. So you throwing it in the conversation as though, like, you just have general knowledge and like learning is absurd. You only know this because you're a computer nerd.
You have a problem with that, but if I say you were a little tardy getting to the podcast today, tardy, it's just a weird word. I hate words like that. And anybody that wants to just go around using words like that.
I wonder what the origin of tardy is. Oh, here we go. Tardis, slow.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And from the French, tardif, which is like an IVE ending. Why does that matter?
Right.
It somehow morphs to tardy. I don't know.
We better wrap this up. We better wrap it up and put a bow on it.
Yeah, we better. Otherwise, it's going to turn into like Tardygate or something. It's the dumbest thing. People don't have creative bones in their bodies anymore.
I think it would be Tardigate.
Oh, I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. It has a nice ring to it. It kind of already sounds like a word, though. I wonder if it is.
No.
Oh, I was thinking,
Yes.
Tardigrade.
What is it?
Tardigrade. You've never heard of this?
No.
Well, you don't read.
No one ever heard of this.
Yes, you have. Tardigrade. It's any of a phylum of microscopic invertebrates with 4 pairs of stout legs that live usually in water or damp moss, also called water bear. You want to see a picture?
This is the reason. Oh, I love those things. This is the reason I don't read.
Okay.
Right there. Hold on. I love those things. Aren't they called like
I just told you what they're called.
what are they called though? No, they have like a something bear, or maybe it's a pig or something. I can't think of it.
I'm going to let everybody in the comments tell him what the answer to this question is, since I already said
What did you say?
Okay, have a great day, everyone.
No, you said it was a tardigrade. Tardigrade.
Goodbye. Muting your mic does not end the episode. I'm wheeling away.
Maybe not.
What do you mean?
I might call in. I might call in and leave some
As
messages.
usual, I'm sweating profusely. It's so hot in here. Look at my shirt.
It's not. I'm completely dry. Look at this.
I'm leaving.
Leisure. Look how relaxed I am.
I'm rolling out. Autobots, roll out.
Oh wait, I didn't hit the record button. We have to do it again.